One president, indefensible. So Trump said two things this week that I think should disqualify him completely from being president, even if you were a perfect president. And in fact, it might be worse if you were an otherwise perfect president, because then you're inclined to still support him. But I think probably nobody thinks he's a perfect president. I mean, nobody does everything right in a job this complicated. Anyways, getting a little lost. All right.
Okay,
So-
I think there are probably more people that think Donald Trump is doing a perfect job than thought that Biden was doing a perfect job
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
by
'cause
like a
it's
10x margin.
right, it's like a cult sort of thing going on.
Yeah,
Nobody was
part of
really
the
a
cult.
Biden stand.
Dark Brandon didn't have that many acolytes.
No, dude, he's a guy. He did an okay job, I guess. All right, so this is what Trump Truthed tweeted on his special platform, his safe space. Quote: "The Biden FBI placed 274 agents into the crowd on January 6th. If this is so, which it is, a lot of very good people will be owed big apologies. What a scam! Do something." Okay, so this
If
is
it's
one
true,
of those like.
which it is. If
Yeah.
it's true, well, then
Yeah, this is one of those like fractally dumb bad things that it's just like you can look at like every piece of this and it's just like endlessly dumb. So first of all, there's that you pointed out this just completely useless statement, right? If it's so, which it is, right? That's just, who cares? Pointless.
Okay, so have you seen him tweet? Because there's videos from
I have not.
the campaign. They released some videos of him reacting to Kamala Harris on the campaign trail.
This is the dumbest timeline, dude. I went out.
You get like a live look at what it looks like when he tweets. So he has some woman with a laptop, and he just kind of is like here, and he's just watching the TV, and he just live dictates everything, and kind of looks at the screen and looks over there. So that's why I think you get these little asides, because it's train of thought, but he's
Right.
also talking to somebody. So
So
it's like, if this is true, which it is,
So he's dictating these tweets, thereby proving that he's a dictator. Trump blown
case
out.
closed.
All right. We got him, boys. Let's talk about the number one biggest problem with this tweet, which is on January 6th, it was not the Biden FBI, right? He was in charge of the FBI on January 6th.
Donald Trump yet again failing to answer who was president in 2020.
Like, okay, so this is our president. He doesn't even know who was president on, like, maybe the most important day in recent history, right? How do you support this guy?
I don't know. He owes us big apologies. What a scam. Do something!
So either he's just completely wrong and he can't keep track, or it's even worse and he's just like lying about something, but in like the dumbest way. Like a little kid with chocolate all over their mouth being like, I didn't eat the chocolate. We know who was in charge of the FBI on January 6th. Surely even Trump supporters know that he was president on that day, right? Please. He was president then. That means he's in charge of the FBI. It's not Biden's FBI.
I think it's a little bit funny how exasperated you are by this, Danny.
I mean, like, come on. How did it get to this in our country, dude? So quickly, right? Like, and this is just baffling. He's just like lying to people to their faces and they're like, yes, please. Thank you, sir. More. Like, have some respect for yourselves, Trump supporters. Don't just like let him lie to you in this like completely obvious way, or if you take like 2 seconds to think about it.
He's already fired lots of people from the FBI, right? And he's, trying to weed out anyone who's ever prosecuted him or, anyone he doesn't like. And so, the Biden FBI, Biden is just a sort of an insult from him that has nothing to do with, it's not about Joe Biden. It just means someone who doesn't like me. And
Oh, man.
anyone who isn't just
It's-
like
right.
fondling me.
So it's like the same way they use illegals or Antifa as just sort of nebulous terms that
Yeah,
mean
woke.
sort of the vague outline of the type of thing they're thinking about.
Right. These are word twisting.
They're not fans of precise language.
Yeah. Okay. And so at the end of this, he says, what a scam. Do something. So who is he talking to here, right? Like, who is he asking to do something about this? What should be done?
If only President Donald Trump knew someone with an incredible amount of power. Like, truly, like, what if he knew the actual most powerful person on the planet right now?
Sorry, I
well,
have another question. We'll never know. One quick question. Do we know anything about the factual basis of the, if it's true, which it is, claim?
It's not true. First of all, it wasn't Biden's FBI, as we've discussed.
No, but I mean,
Second,
that there were lots of FBI agents in the crowd.
I've certainly seen no evidence to suggest it, and all of the headlines say that he falsely accuses of
Got it. So
there
they've
being
just been
FBI agents.
So I've
in
heard
the
it
crowd.
repeated many times, and it's just been kind of a lie the whole time.
But yeah, certainly I have not seen any good evidence that this is true.
Right. That seems to me that stands out even more than the blaming it on Biden as like the lie that is the meat.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay. This is like a president who's lying about the FBI starting a riot, and like that's not cool. I don't know. I feel like if I had a president who I otherwise thought was perfect and they were making shit up like this, I wouldn't support them, Like, please, Republicans, don't support this shit. Yeah. All right. So that was thing one.
That's number one.
That's just thing one, dude.
That brought Danny's blood to a low simmer. Number two.
Okay, so this is a little more personal.
Pressure
So I live in Portland, and he's been lying about Portland a lot this week. So he had an Antifa roundtable, which is this whole like thing that we don't even have time to get into that. We'll just talk about a few specific parts of this, where he's talking about Portland, and he says, "Quote: The amazing thing is, you look at Portland and you see fires all over the place. You see fights, and I mean just violence. It's just so crazy. And then you talk to the governor, and she acts like everything is totally normal. There's nothing wrong. I don't know what could be worse than Portland. You don't even have sewers anymore. They don't even put glass up. They put plywood on their windows, but most of the retailers have left." End quote. Okay, this is just like unbelievable, right? So he's lying about things that are just like verifiably untrue. Everyone in Portland is like, it's normal here. Things are fine. And he's like, everything is bad. They don't even have sewers. We gotta send in the troops.
Do you think he has like the geographical equivalent of dyslexia, where he's just like looking at footage of Mogadishu and he thinks it's Portland?
Well, so I've seen the theory that he watches Fox News, which like plays a lot of clips of like 2020 Portland, and like has been like, this has been going on for 5 years. 5 years of endless riots. It's Mad Max world. And like you'll like, talking to other people in Portland, they'll like travel somewhere, the deep south or whatever, and they'll talk to people who will literally just not believe them that Portland is okay. Like they think it's like a hellscape that people barely survive.
Do you just like, I don't know, do we need to do service journalism here? Do you need to like turn the webcam around and look out onto your street?
Like anyone who wants to know, our local news station has a 24-hour live stream of the protests at the ice building that you can watch at any time and see that it's like a bunch of people in inflatable costumes dancing around in front of them mostly.
Yep. I think the Fox News thing is probably true. I don't know. I just did a quick search of where this 274 agents in the crowd thing comes from. And it's like you said, it's basically all articles about how Donald Trump is lying about this. And then the only non-Donald Trump source I could find was a Fox News investigation on the Capitol riots.
So they asked questions, and I mean, if you read it, they probably don't conclude that it happened, but they concluded that they could look into it.
I'm sure there's some insinuation there.
Let's summarize this. So he's lying about like there being big problems in a city. It's just like easily, verifiably untrue. Anyone who wants to can see that this is not true. It's so easy. And he's doing this because he wants to send in troops to like do what? Like they're
to intimidate, to start a fight.
Exactly. So please, like,
steal voting machines.
Like, don't support this kind of thing. Like, if you allow Donald Trump to do this, like, you can't object when a Democratic president does it to you, right? Like, even if you
sure they can. They love hypocrisy.
Right. And we don't want that. Right.
No, of course not.
Like,
but like
very
this
much
is how you
against
prevent like this is how to prevent dictatorships from happening is anytime somebody tries to become dictator, you stop them. If they take dictator moves, you stop them. And then that way, if they can't do anything dictatorial, everything should stay okay.
Right. I mean,
even if you really like them, you should still stop them from trying to do dictatorship.
That's important. I've seen some good examples of Republican voters speaking to their representatives very publicly and humiliatingly, like, voicing their disapproval. So I applaud them. I think you voted wrong last time, but like, that's okay. We move forward. But yeah, I mean, Congress people are the people who actually are in a position to stop this and aren't doing it. Those are the true cowards. They could stop these troop deployments. They could impeach Donald Trump for lying and sending troops to peaceful American cities.
But yeah, if you're a Trump supporter, a Trump voter who's listening to this right now, I want you to leave a comment and tell me how you can like justify him lying about things that are happening in order to send in troops. Right? This is not
And if
like
you-
a maybe he's lying. He's definitely lying. You can see that he's lying if you want to.
Come visit Portland. It's beautiful.
Watch some of the numerous conservatives who have like, you know, if they're like live streaming the protests, you can see they're not that bad.
$20 commenter who responds to this is gonna talk about illegals. Yes, right. Yes, cucks, but
Yeah.
also something about immigrants. The
Yeah,
liberals just
so-
want
Yeah.
immigrants to replace whites.
To me,
Yeah.
that's two indefensible things that like Trump has done this week. Like I would really like to believe that if there were a president who I thought was perfect otherwise, and they did this, that I would have the courage to be like, actually, this is not cool. I'm not going to support you because I can find someone who supports most of the things that you do, but they don't also do these terrible fascist things.
Let's
All
see.
Yeah.
Stand
you guys
up.
have any concluding thoughts here? All right.
I mean, guys, my heart goes out to you if you do respond, person who's turned around on this particular statement.
Look, I mean, there are a lot of people who are seeing these actions and are changing their minds about Donald Trump. Like, I'm not saying there are millions, but there are lots of people who are like,
hell yeah, dude.
This
It's
guy's-
fine to make
this
mistakes,
guy's
dude. Everyone
beyond the
makes
pale.
mistakes, right? Like there
So,
are
yeah.
people who are spending like billions of dollars to get people to support Trump. Like trying to trick people, trying to like mislead them. You know, everyone fucks up. It's okay. Just admit your mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. Try to do better next time.
Speaking of admitting our mistakes, sometimes we are part of the problem. You know, we
speak for yourself.
are full of anger and frustration at the current moment. And, you know, when we see someone frustrated with the party that they voted for, oftentimes our first instinct is to mock them because, "Duh, how could you see this coming?" Well, it truly doesn't matter. Probably shouldn't do that as satisfying as it feels at the time. Probably should just welcome people who see the light. So, you know, my B for like the hundreds of time I've done this on this channel.
Yeah. Feel free to join us in the giant club of people who think it's not okay to lie about sending troops into cities. It's a big club.
And you know what? If you're with us just because you've been personally financially impacted, that's fine too. We're happy to have you.
Yeah. So that's been another rant of an episode of Info Hazard. Comment, leave a comment, like, subscribe, the usual YouTube stuff, and we'll see you tomorrow.